Live from KSAT 12, the News at Noon starts right now.
Hi, good afternoon and happy Friday. Well, the weather is at the top of a lot of people's minds this morning, especially with the Rock and Roll Running Series happening this weekend. If you look outside, it kind of looks gloomy a little bit and, kind of like overcast and just a little bit of maybe rain here and there for the weekend, Mia.
Yep, that's what we're going to be looking at even into this afternoon. You can see exactly as Steph mentioned, it is just a very gloomy looking day with the cloud cover in place. Not really looking to see a lot of sunshine return until early next week, late Sunday and into Monday. So the biggest thing to know about the upcoming weekend, whether you have any outdoor plans, you're running in any of the races, or you're just heading downtown to cheer on the participants, you're going to want to bundle up. It's going to be chilly, and also keep the rain poncho handy because scattered rain chances increase starting this afternoon and evening, and they continue all the way through Sunday morning. So speaking of which, let's get you to Authority Radar. Right now, not a whole lot going on here in San Antonio. You can see that Authority Radar is still picking up on some elevated moisture west of the I-35 corridor. As we switch over the radar site to the one closer to Brackettville out there in Kinney County, you can see that, yes, a few of these showers are starting to make it farther off to the surface. Some of that rain, very light, though, across portions of Kinney County, stretching over to northern Uvalde County and even up into the hill country. Pretty isolated at the moment, and it will continue to be that way over the next couple of hours, but we'll start to see those rain chances increase later on this afternoon and evening. A 40% chance to find some of that hit or miss light rain here in San Antonio. Temperatures still chilly, highs in the low 50s here in San Antonio as well. Okay, so rain chances, again, that's going to be the main theme along with these colder below average temperatures into the weekend. Highs near 50s, near 50 degrees, especially today and even into Saturday. So for the Rock and Roll Marathon happening over the next couple of days, plan on it being damp and chilly. We'll get you a full look at that futurecast and what we'll be monitoring over the next 48 to 72 hours coming up in just a few, Steph.
All right, thank you, Mia. Well, it is finally here, the last Rock and Roll Running Series making its way to San Antonio this weekend. So a reminder that the 5K and 10K, that's happening Saturday, tomorrow, while the half marathon and full marathon, that is happening on Sunday. And with the chance for rain, runners are more prone to injury. So Dr. Boyd Bills is a podiatrist and assistant professor at UT Health San Antonio, and he thinks it's a good idea for all runners to take it easy on those curves and the hills. Make your strides a little smaller when you can. And as far as your shoes go, now's the time to make sure they're all ready.
You think, okay, my shoe's gonna get wet, it's gonna get ruined, so I need to get my older shoe out. Probably not the best idea. So might wanna lock the laces, kind of tighten up the shoe so it's a little snugger than you'd anticipate.
Well, right now, some more advice from Dr. Bills that some runners may not want to hear. So it's always okay to take it a little slower on the course because a longer time is much better than dealing with an injury for months and months down the road. And right now on our website, KSAT.com, and our KSAT Facebook page, we are asking runners, what is your race day ritual? And we already have a couple of responses from viewers. One viewer saying their routine is, quote, a Cliff Bar, Lucky Socks, stretching, and cakes going the distance on repeat. A good song there. Well, of course, getting hyped up for a race is just as important as making sure you're fueled up. And others shared that theirs is, quote, make another donation to St. Jude for the race. And of course, referencing that the St. Jude Children's Hospital is a national featured charity of the running series. Well, developing right now, KSAT has learned that DNA belonging to Suzanne Simpson has been found on the reciprocating saw that Almost Park police say her husband, Brad Simpson, allegedly tried to conceal from investigators. Suzanne has been missing since early October, and her body still has not been found. Well, of course, Brad Simpson, who is still in jail, is charged in Suzanne's murder. The indictment obtained by KSAT mentions that evidence in the case. Investigators allege that Brad Simpson tried to conceal that saw, and that DNA revelation is the latest glimpse into the case against Brad Simpson. Well, he is expected to be in court on Monday, and this will be the first time that Simpson will face a judge. So KSAT will be live streaming that court hearing, and you will be able to watch it any way you stream KSAT. This is all happening again Monday, starting at 9 a.m. Well, meanwhile, the outpouring of emotion and support for the missing mother from Olmos Park continues after this latest news. One of Suzanne Simpson's best friends told KSAT in part, quote, "Suzanne was such a kind person, a lovely human being, a great friend, a wonderful and loving mother. We are all devastated. I'll never recover from her death. No one who loved her ever will." We also have a lot of online reaction as well, and you can share your thoughts right now on our website at ksat.com. Well, a federal appeals court panel this morning upheld a law that could lead to a ban on TikTok in a few short months, handing a resounding defeat to the popular social media platform as it fights for its survival in the U.S. So the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit ruled that the law, which requires TikTok to break ties with its China-based parent company ByteDance or be banned by mid-January, is constitutional, rebuffing TikTok's challenge that the statute ran afoul of the First Amendment and unfairly targeted the platform. TikTok and ByteDance, another plaintiff in the lawsuit, are expected to appeal to the Supreme Court. And to the latest in the urgent search for the gunman accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on the streets of New York. Police have the clearest photo of that suspect. As the search intensifies, authorities piecing together a timeline of that suspect's movements. Sources say that he arrived in New York by bus on November 24th that originated in Atlanta, and that early Wednesday morning the suspect was seen with a backpack exiting that subway just 2 blocks from the Hilton Hotel. Police say he waited hours for Thompson, who walked from behind and fired several shots before taking off on a bike. Well, at the courts, a hearing currently underway for a man accused of killing his wife's grandmother over 9 years ago. So R.C. Curtis has been charged with capital murder in connection to the death of Paula Boyd. Boyd was found murdered in her apartment in October of 2015. An autopsy revealed that she died of blunt force trauma and strangulation. Now, caught on surveillance video the day after the slaying when he tried to use Boyd's debit card at a gas station. We're going to follow this hearing and bring you the latest updates again on our website, ksat.com. Well, also in the courts today, the woman in connection to the deaths of Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra asking for her bond to be reduced. So this is Muerta Romanos, charged with abuse of a corpse, alter, destroy, conceal of a human corpse, and tampering with evidence. Now, she is the stepmother of Christopher Preciado, who is accused in the murders. Romanos is asking for her $600,000 bond to be reduced to $250,000. That reduction was denied by the judge. Well, still ahead, we are showing you the roads that will be closed around town this weekend for the Rock and Roll Marathon and the best alternate routes to take. Plus, we're getting a preview into one of the top mariachi competitions happening right here in San Antonio this weekend. Well, for 30 years now, the Mariachi Extravaganza has been the top mariachi competition for students across the country. And that tradition continues this weekend, where over 1,000 mariachi students will compete in San Antonio at the Lila Cockrell Theater. Well, our Sarah Costa gives us a glimpse into how the varsity mariachi team from Fox Tech is getting ready to compete.
I'm feeling nervous. I don't know much about the competition, but from what I've heard, it sounds very, very rigorous.
I feel pretty excited. I feel like we can go out there and do a really good job.
We actually have trophies there from Mariachi Extravaganza. There's a couple up there that we've been competing with them for a while. You don't have a connection with the audience, then you have nothing. You're just a tape recorder.
We practice about like 2 hours every day, and then our own time, people put in the hours during the weekends.
Because we're mariachi doesn't mean we have to play out of tune, right? We're musicians first, and then we're mariachi.
I've been playing mariachi since 6th grade here at Fox Tech campus. I've been playing the harp ever since then.
I've been playing since I was in 7th grade. I feel like being able to sing in Spanish and play things, especially songs that are older, that are really deeply rooted in Mexican history, is really special.
Just to be proud of your culture and express the music, just be proud of where you come from, and that having that thing every day to remind me of that is like really special.
It's about being a musician. It's about being proud of our heritage. It's about being proud of just playing music.
we compete at the national level, we compete at the state level, all the levels, and there's UIL, and there's all these competitions, all this attention and funds going into it, and I think we deserve to be right next to football.
It feels really empowering. It's a really special moment to be on stage and be able to play and just have all of your hard work and just the opportunity to express that to an audience.
Very cool. Good luck to all the students out there. Well, the Mariachi competition and rock and roll marathon, not just the only thing happening here in San Antonio, very busy weekend. So several places like the Botanical Gardens and the San Antonio Zoo will have their light displays available for you to check out. And San Antonio Pets Alive also offering free pet adoptions, and market days will be happening at the Pearl and La Vita. So you can check all these events out happening this weekend by finding this article on our website at KSAT.com. And a lot of outdoor events happening, so hopefully people will just prepare for that rain and cooler weather.
Exactly. Prepare ahead of time, keep the rain gear with you, and then especially if you have any outdoor plans that can have a backup indoor option, that's not a bad idea either. We will at least take the rain though. The aquifer, no change in today's reading. It's about 625.9, which is over 41 feet below the December average. And because of the dampness that we've seen over the past couple of days, molds are still in the moderate category at 820 as we get ready to wrap up the work week. We will have another full check at that weekend forecast, including those rain chances and cooler temperatures right after the break.
Well, it is officially race weekend, y'all, as we get set for the Rock and Roll Marathon, the final Rock and Roll Marathon that will be held here in the city of San Antonio. So we want to get you updated on some of the route closures, the bigger route closures that we're going to be seeing throughout the weekend. So let's go ahead and start Saturday. We're going to be focused right now on the 5K and the 10K. That's going to start at 7:30 a.m. downtown. And again, the 5K, you can see that path on the left hand of your screen right there, and the 10K is going to be on the right. So both are going to start at the corner of Houston Street and Santa Rosa right there. Milam Park, and they're both going to end at Travis Park. The big difference is that the 10K will take you to San Antonio College. So want to come back out to our maps real quick and kind of go over some of the key bullet points here. So again, Saturday, 7:30 a.m. That's the 5K, 10K, both Milam Park to Travis Park. Now, again, the 5K is basically going to be taking you through East Houston up to 37 and all the way up to Jones before you head back to Travis Park. The big difference here, again, the 10K is going to be taking you from north of downtown all the way to Sac and then coming back in that same direction. So a couple of big differences there, but we do expect a lot of people out there for these two events that are taking place on Saturday before we get set for the Rock and Roll, the half and the full marathon that's going to be taking place on Sunday. So if you want more information on this, go ahead and go to KSAT.com. We have a full breakdown of not only the routes, the street closures, and also parking for all of our folks that are going to be in the downtown area. Be safe, everyone.
All right, thanks, RJ. So, of course, we want to say good luck to everybody that is running in all of the races this weekend, including you, Steph. How are you feeling?
A little nervous, of course. It's since 2018. I have not run a full. I've run the half, so I'm very familiar with the Rock and Roll series. But yeah, so if I cross the finish line, it'll be my 10th marathon to complete. So I'm very excited, nervous, and I think a lot of runners probably, get the butterflies in the stomach as well. So good luck also to Misael Gomez. I've been training with him. I know you're a little injured, so hopefully we can pull through on Sunday. And also Colton is running.
Oh, nice.
And our news director, Mario Oriana, will also be running. So good luck to everybody running the series.
We've got a good crew at KSAT that's taking part in it as well. How are you feeling about the weather situation? Would you rather it be like this, or would you rather it be warmer and dry?
No, I'd rather have it like this. Okay. I mean, granted, I'm probably gonna, mess up my shoes, because I was just thinking about that, because usually I get bright colored shoes, and this year, they're white, so they're not going to be white at the end of the race.
Probably not. Yeah. It's going to be a little soggy and damp out there this weekend, and that's because we have rain chances that are increasing really over the next 24 hours. So let's get right to it, and let's time out your weekend specifically for the Rock and Roll Marathon and all of the races taking place as well. 40% chance for some scattered light showers to take shape later on this afternoon into the evening. We're going to bump it up to a 60% potential as we head to the over overnight hours tonight into tomorrow, and then I still think some lingering hit or miss light rain will stick around first thing Sunday. So still a damp start for both the half marathon as well as the marathon early Sunday morning. Then we'll finally start to dry things out into Sunday afternoon and see a little bit more sunshine take place into early next week as well. Right now across Authority radar, again, we've got plenty of cloud cover in place. That cloud cover is not going anywhere over the next couple of days. Just a few isolated light showers pushing across the southern Edwards Plateau and the Hill Country. Right now, most of that activity west of the I-35 corridor. This is all thanks to an area of low pressure right now currently centered off to our west. Notice winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere out ahead of that low pressure system. They're out of the southwest for us here at home. So that's helping pump in some additional Pacific moisture, as well as a few pockets of upper level energy that will continue to push across the Lone Star State in the days ahead. Combine all of those ingredients together as that area of low pressure approaches the state of Texas into the weekend. That's what's going to help spark up these scattered chances for rain. So let's time it out here on your Futurecast. Notice by 5 p.m. even today, some of that light shower activity will be possible closer to San Antonio, maybe just enough to get you to need to use the windshield wipers for the afternoon drive home for those that do cash into some of that activity. We'll keep that 40 to 60% chance going overnight tonight. And then check this out, 6 to 7 a.m. by the time a lot of folks are headed downtown to either run the 5K, the 10K, or go cheer on those running the races, it is looking to be soggy out there. Some pockets of light rain expected. And here's the thing with this activity. It is not going to be a continuous rain. It is going to be off and on, hit or miss in nature, but still just keep the umbrella, keep the rain poncho handy over the next couple of days just to be on the safe side. By 7 a.m. Sunday, still some damp conditions here closer to San Antonio. Then into the afternoon, that low pressure system scoots east. It takes the rain with it. We'll start to see some clearing take place later on in the day as well. So here's a look at your Saturday morning, hour by hour, 6 to 7 a.m. It's going to be cold out there. Low 40s here in San Antonio with that scattered light rain. Temperatures not really budging a whole lot throughout the morning hours because of that rain-cooled air as well as the cloud cover. Then into Sunday, still chilly to start, right around 50 degrees by 7 a.m. and the start of the half and full marathons. High temperatures will be a bit warmer into the afternoon though as rain chances come down. Notice your winds, not a whole lot of wind to contend with, looking to be fairly light and variable, especially into Sunday morning. So at least we have that going for us. We rebound into the 70s on Monday, plenty of sunshine there. Then our next cold front arrives on Tuesday. That one cools us down, potentially mid-30s possible in San Antonio by Thursday morning, Steph.
Thank you, Mia. Well, coming up in sports, the Spurs struggle against the Bulls. We are breaking down the struggles the team faced after the break. Well, the Spurs faced the Bulls last night to open up their 3-game homestand, and Jeremy Sohan starting for the injured Victor Wembanyama. So Spurs starting out strong with Chris Paul passing to Stephon Castle to Sohan for an easy dunk. However, the Spurs began falling behind the Bulls and trailed 73-57 at the half. Now, in the second half, the Spurs working to catch up to the Bulls, but they would fall short. Bulls prevail thanks to Nikola and his game-high 39 points. Bulls beat the Spurs 139-124.
Transition was bad. Had some situations even off makes where we didn't get back. They got buckets right after makes. Weren't connected. Didn't show shifts where we were supposed to. The amount of right-handed layups, kind of straight line drives was pretty alarming. Lack of communication on some screens. It was pick your poison. It was pretty poor tonight.
All right, Spurs, we have another chance here. They're going to be back tonight when they host the Kings at 7 p.m. So Sacramento played at Memphis last night and lost. Go Spurs, go. Well, still ahead in our next half hour. Now is the time to get your holiday shopping done, but be aware of scammers, especially when shopping online. What you need to look out for to make sure you don't fall victim to a holiday shopping scam. Plus, after more than 2 decades in local law enforcement, he's calling it a career. Our latest episode of Spreester Sessions dives into the longtime tenure of Sheriff Arnold Zwicke in Guadalupe County. Well, the Guadalupe County Sheriff stepping down after 24 years as sheriff and 32 years with the department. Naming a new sheriff in Seguin is historic, and they've only had 17 in the 178 years since Guadalupe County was formed. It is a county booming with a population growth, and the sheriff has had to change with it. So in this edition of Spreester Sessions, we sit down with the sheriff, and here's a sneak peek.
"24 years, 32 with this office. What goes through your mind when you think back on that time?"
How much we've grown. Guadalupe County has exploded since I started here in 92, one of 21 deputies, and took office in 01 with 40 deputies, and now we're at 120 something deputies. We've got a 600 bed jail, 250 employees. It's just exploded. I mean, things have changed through the years. We all know what happened September 11th of 01. That added a lot to what we were already doing. So just trying to cover all the bases in Guadalupe County. One thing I learned from the get-go, that drugs were the problem. That to me is about 85% of our work in one way or the other is related to the drug problem. You know, your burglars, your thefts. There's not real burglars out here. They're all taking care of a habit. And we started combating the narcotics in Guadalupe County. I've got a chart on the wall I call my report card. That's the Uniform Crime Report that will show that as the population of Guadalupe County's gone up, our crime rate has gone down.
What's your final message to the people of Guadalupe County, many of whom have voted you into office time and time again?
Yes. That would be to, I thank them for the honor and privilege of being allowed to serve as their sheriff. It is an honor and privilege to have held this office. It's the sheriff, since I was a little boy, I've always admired. To think I'd be sitting here one day, I'd have told you were crazy. But here we are.
That's pretty cool. Well, that's just a portion of Steve's conversation with the Guadalupe County Sheriff. You can watch the full conversation in the latest episode of Spreester Sessions right now, any way you stream KSAT. Let's look out there with a live cam this afternoon. And okay, 51 degrees, like a little chilly, but just that overcast just makes it feel even colder.
I think you're right. The lack of sunshine, exactly. It makes it feel a little bit colder than if you had some of that direct sunlight on you. Yes, we have warmed into the low 50s, but honestly, because of that cloud cover and even some of the scattered light rain that we're expecting to develop closer to San Antonio later this afternoon, I don't anticipate temperatures to budge all that much. Highs in the low 50s are still expected closer to the Alamo City. So right now, low 50s for us, as well as places like Pleasanton, stretching over to Hondo, 52 in Uvalde, still holding on to some upper 40s though as you get into the hill country. Chilly out there into this early afternoon for places like Kerrville as well as Rock Springs. Again, that cloud cover really sticking around throughout the remainder of not just this Friday, but into tomorrow for our Saturday and even into the start of Sunday. Then we'll finally start to see some clearing later in the day on Sunday. That's when rain chances are out of the picture. But for now, a 20% chance for rain into the early afternoon, bumping that up to a 30% potential by 3 p.m. and then that 40% chance takes shape later on into the evening hours. So just not a bad idea to keep the rain gear handy for any Friday evening plans and even into the upcoming weekend. Those rain chances will start to increase into our Saturday. Again, not a continuous rain, but off and on in nature. That carries over into Sunday morning before we clear things out. More sunshine into next week and the temperature roller coaster continues. We'll have a full check at that coming up a little bit later on.
Well, developing right now, a woman is dead after her car crashed into two Mustangs last night. That crash happened around 10 on Water's Edge Drive along Loop 410 Access Road. So we are learning that two teens were in the car with the woman, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. Now, both teens only had minor injuries from that crash. This is according to the San Antonio Police Department. Now, police say the woman pulled out onto the access road when the two cars crashed into her. As of right now, no charges are being filed against the drivers in the Mustangs. Well, after more than a year, there's finally an arrest made in the case of a woman found dead and half-dressed in East Bexar County. According to Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Alyssa Graves' body was found near the intersection of North Foster Road and Summerfest Drive in July of last year. The county medical examiner lists the head trauma as the cause of her death. Well, Christopher Michael Hotto was arrested in connection to her death. He is facing numerous charges, including manslaughter. Now, police have not released how Hotto is connected to the death at this time. Well, online shopping can be an efficient way to get everything you need for the holidays, but fraud experts, they want you to be aware of scammers trying to rip you off. ABC's Christian Cordero explains what you should look out for and how you can avoid becoming a victim.
For many of us, shopping from the comfort of home is far better than being stuck in mall traffic. But as Kathy Stokes, director of fraud prevention at AARP, warns, a third of consumers get burned by online scams. She says this can happen to anyone. And while the numbers show younger adults are the ones more likely to be defrauded, older adults potentially have more assets to lose. A big culprit, ads on social media.
Don't click on an ad. Go to a trusted retailer that you've already done business with, you have an account with.
Don't assume those texts from package carriers like UPS and FedEx are legit. Links to copycat websites can trick you into giving up sensitive information or load monitoring software onto your device.
Just don't trust the link.
If you're expecting a package, Stokes says to go directly to the carrier's website to check the status. And watch out for tech support scams through alerts on your computer screen.
Where someone gets that notification that, oh my gosh, there's a really big problem with my computer. And sometimes it's all over your screen, and sometimes there's a siren wailing.
Everyone loves a gift card, but beware thieves are headed to the rack to steal barcode information, allowing them to spend the money once a cashier activates the card.
The other way they do it is something called a ghost bot. It's technology that sort of searches the internet looking for gift cards with value on them. And when they find them, they drain the funds.
Stokes suggests checking the balance and using gift cards right away. If the balance is zero, contact the retailer or the issuing company. If you or a loved one are the victim of any type of fraud, Stokes says it's important to report it to creditors and police.
If your state sets up a victim restitution fund, you'll have that report in hand to be able to recover at least some of your assets.
And don't shame victims of these schemes.
Understand that they were intentionally targeted by what's largely transnational crime gangs. It's a big problem. It is not the victim's fault.
Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, changes are in the works to protect all of us from dangerous dogs. The San Antonio City Council members voted unanimously to increase dangerous dog enforcement. Specifically, the changes will crack down on irresponsible owners. The fines for repeat offenders will more than double, and that means owners who fail to prevent their dogs from biting someone, they could see a fine between $1,000 and $2,000 per attack.
This change is long overdue. We need to change the culture of dog ownership in San Antonio. So we're going to be increasing fines for negligent dog owners. If you don't want to face those fines, then don't let your dogs get out.
Well, the city is also allowing people to report dangerous dogs anonymously, but if the dog's owner takes it to court, the person's real name would then have to become public. So City Council also voting to beef up law enforcement security, an ordinance that will put ballistic windshields and side panel windows in more than 200 San Antonio police vehicles. So 30 specialty units and 180 patrol units will get the window makeover in 2025. Well, coming up, our No Shave initiative is finally over, and we are seeing how much the KSAT men raise and getting a look at some of our guys before and after photos from getting their beards shaved this morning.
This SA Salutes holiday greeting is brought to you by the Carlson Law Firm.
Happy holidays, San Antonio. This holiday season, we celebrate the spirit of service and community.
As a veteran-owned law firm, we are proud to serve those who have served our country.
To all of our veterans and their families, thank you for your service. We are honored to stand by you.
From the Carlson Law Firm, we care, we can help.
Happy holidays!
Well, No Shave November officially over, and our KSAT guys raised over $15,000 for colorectal cancer research. So you saw reporter Devin Karp, meteorologist Justin Horn, and this is photographer Adam Barazas. This is before and after pictures, and of course you also saw Steve Spriester out there. They all shaved off their facial hair, so thanks to you guys for supporting a great cause, and to the KSAT community for helping us raise so much money for such a great cause. It's cool to see that. We got to see it this morning, right?
Live at 9, and you know, we were talking about this earlier, just so many people have a connection to someone that has been fighting some type of cancer, and I love that our KSAT boys do that every November to really help for research and the cause, but also to you at home. All of our viewers are just so fantastic in supporting us with that, and we cannot thank you enough either. All right, a quick look at the almanac data for today. Notice our low temperature 48. A high temperature right around 52, maybe 53 degrees this afternoon. That is a very shortened variety and variation in temperatures because of the cloud cover, and then later on today some rain-cooled air. Also well below the average for this time of year. Our average high is 66, so we're going to be about 14 degrees below that this afternoon. More chilly temperatures in store tomorrow before we start to warm things back up by Monday. Then more temperature changes. Details on that after the break.
Well, you can see here that snow fell across Massachusetts yesterday, prompting school closures, but leading to a fun day of sledding for many families. So several inches fell, blanketing much of the state, and snowplows hit the roads overnight, making sure that drivers would be safe for Friday morning. The area has a slight chance for snow tonight. However, the temperatures will be cold, nearly getting down to 20 degrees. Wow, we're lucky we don't have the snow here, and we don't have the 20 degrees here. That's something we are not used to here in San Antonio, Texas.
But I mean, you look at that video, it looks like a winter wonderland up there.
Does. That's a lot of snow.
But you bring up a good point. The core of this colder air has really been settled across the Northeast, up into New England, the Great Lakes region, and that's still going to be the case over the next several days. So not nearly that cold here in San Antonio, but it's going to be chilly still over the next couple of days. We are still in the time of year where we can have temperature ups and downs, a roller coaster, if you will. I did go ahead and bump us up to 53 for the high temperature. We are warming into the low 50s right now, so I did adjust us slightly, but again, not a ton of variation in our temperatures today because of the cloud cover in place. Because of that as well into tomorrow, as well as some slightly higher rain chances in the forecast, it is highly possible that our high temperatures here in town struggle to climb out of the 40s. That is going to be a chilly day. Thanks to some clearing taking shape late on Sunday, high temperatures are in the low 60s, so closer to average for this time of year. Notice on Monday, plenty of sunshine is going to take back over. Highs are back in the mid to upper 70s. Then we see our next cold front move through early on Tuesday. That drops us down into the mid to upper 60s by Tuesday afternoon, and then some cooler afternoons follow by the middle to later portions of next week, and perhaps even some low temperatures closer to the mid 30s here in San Antonio. So that's going to be something to check back in on as well. Right now, as we take a look at authority radar, though, of course, yes, the chilly temperatures will be the name of the game into the upcoming weekend, but also the increasing rain chances that come along with it. Perhaps a little bit of light rain, some sprinkles starting to get going across the far southwestern portions of Bexar County and San Antonio, right where I-35 meets Loop 1604. Some light rain possible across portions of Medina County as well, right along Highway 90 near Hondo, even out into Uvalde County there near Concan, Canipa, Uvalde, and Sabinal, and then some additional light showers, perhaps a few sprinkles still pushing across the southern Edwards Plateau and up into the hill country, specifically near Rock Springs, as well as Lakey. So we'll be keeping tabs on that activity into the afternoon, making its way closer here to San Antonio, potentially by about 4 to 5 o'clock. Not continuous this evening or into tomorrow, but again, the umbrella, put it in the car just to be on the safe side. Keep the jacket handy as well, because with temperatures like this afternoon and into tomorrow, that's going to be jacket weather all day long. Plenty of cloud cover. Again, a 60% chance for some scattered light rain to push through, even closer to the Alamo City, potentially first thing tomorrow morning. That will continue in an off and on scattered hit or miss nature into the afternoon, and then still a few lingering light showers possible early Sunday before we start to dry things out and clear things out by Sunday afternoon. See even here on your futurecast a few peaks of sunshine starting to take back over, with even more expected as we head into early next week. In terms of rainfall totals, you'll notice that this number is a little bit lower than what we were showing in the past couple of days. Just the guidance that we've seen today not suggesting as hefty of rainfall totals, generally upwards of about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch looking to be a possibility here in San Antonio. Overall, the picture being slightly drier the farther west that you go, and slightly higher totals the farther east that you go, closer to the Houston area. So chilly and damp this weekend for your weekend plans and the Rock and Roll Marathon running series happening. Upper 70s drying out, warming up on Monday, then that cold front knocking temperatures down into the middle of next week. We're watching that 34 on Thursday to see if that needs to be adjusted a little bit lower. Potentially a light freeze for outlying areas closer to San Antonio. Again, still about a week away. So just check back in for updates over the next several days, Steph.
We sure will. Thank you, Mia. Well, coming up, like you were talking about, the Rock and Roll Running Series is here. So we're going to go over a few details regarding the event, including important start times that you need to know. But first, what you need to do to make sure that you and your family are happy and safe while decorating for the holiday season. Well, we want everyone to have a happy, safe, and healthy holiday season, whether cooking, decorating, or toy buying. Safety experts are reminding families to take precautions to keep safe from holiday-related hazards. Michael Yoshida explains.
Decorating mishaps can ruin your Christmas vacation.
Honey?
In the 2023 holiday season, about 14,900 people were treated in emergency rooms due to holiday decorating-related injuries. That according to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission.
I've seen people that fall off the ladder, they fall off the roof. Even when they're just trying to be careful climbing down, they just slip because they're wearing the wrong shoes and end up having to spend the holidays in the hospital with serious injuries.
So whether reaching for the top of the tree or stringing lights, Dr. Carol Parsons, an emergency medicine physician for Cleveland Clinic, offers this advice when decking the halls. Make sure both legs of the ladder are firmly planted. And
when you're up on the ladder, a lot of people end up reaching over for the next strand of lights when really they should be getting off the ladder, moving it over, and repositioning it.
Parson also says if using an artificial tree, look for a fire-resistant label. And if you go for the real thing, make sure you water it to keep it from drying out and potentially becoming a fire hazard. And when decorating the tree, be careful with the ornaments.
Most nowadays are plastic, but there's a fair amount that are ceramic or glass. People drop them, they step on them, they slice their fingers on them, and they end up coming to see us in the ER every year.
Things to keep in mind for sure. Well, the final Rock and Roll Running Series happening again this weekend. So the 5K, 10K, that's tomorrow. Starts at 7:30 in the morning, while the full and half marathon will start Sunday. It'll start at 7 a.m. So you're going to get a full list of road closures, the weather forecast, and details regarding the marathon by heading over to the article on our website at KSAT.com. Well, just a reminder that time is running out to help kids in San Antonio who desperately need shoes. The San Antonio Police Department and Zapatos Incorporated, they have been teaming up for months, and this year they hope to break last year's record of 2,160 pairs of shoes. Again, today is your last chance to drop off some new shoes or socks to any San Antonio Police Department substation. And a reminder, the annual Salvation Army's Parade of Kettles competition is in full swing. Local businesses and media compete to raise the most money to help families in need this holiday season. And KSAT 12 News is being represented by investigative reporter Daniela Ibarra this year. So from now until midnight on December 24th, KSAT will be competing to raise the most money to help families in the Bexar County area.
And she did a great job decorating our bucket this year.
Yeah, she did Wicked.
With the Wicked theme.
That was cool.
Glinda and the Elphaba. It was pretty neat. It looks great. Last year she was also our team captain, and she did the Taylor Swift Eras tour.
Yeah, that was so cool.
She's so creative. She's a perfect person to be our team captain.
Yes.
All right, a quick look at Authority radar. Starting to see some of that light rain activity pick up, especially just to the west of San Antonio, specifically near Medina Lake. A few sprinkles possible even out there near Hondo. This will be the theme into the afternoon. A high temperature right around 53 degrees here in San Antonio. Chilly, off and on rain expected this weekend. Damp and cold tomorrow. Warming things up quickly on Monday. Then we are back down to a cooler feel with sunshine by the middle portions of next week.
Wow, that'll be such a nice break on Monday after all the cold and rain, right?
Agreed.
Thanks, Via. Well, good luck to all the runners and all the volunteers as well.